At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome to News 46's Week in Review, your #1 source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. A suspect was taken into custody for suspicion of meth sales and use following a traffic stop.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office has issued an official press release regarding 42-year-old Pahrump resident Shannon Reed. On July 20th, Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives and street patrol conducted a traffic stop on a driver, Shannon Reed. At that stop, it was determined that Shannon Reed was under the influence of methamphetamine. In Reed's possession was also located over 14 grams of methamphetamine, as well as drug paraphernalia. Investigation revealed that Reed had left his juvenile children without supervision to conduct sales of methamphetamine in Pahrump. Reed was arrested and transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center, where he was booked on the following charges: trafficking methamphetamine, driving under the influence of drugs, under the influence of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, abuse, neglect, and endangerment of a child. Mr. Reed is being held pending bail. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
2 roommates are accused of stealing a victim's silver and selling it at a Las Vegas pawn shop.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office had issued an official press release regarding 19-year-old Joseph Chiarilli and 22-year-old Frederick White. On July 24th, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies took a report of approximately 500 ounces of silver being stolen from 1860 Grand Lodge in Pahrump. Nye County Sheriff's Office General Assignment detectives responded and assisted on scene with the investigation. On July 25th, Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives discovered that the victim's roommate, Chiarilli, and White had taken the silver without permission of the victim. It was discovered that Joseph Chiarilli and Frederick White had taken the silver to a pawn shop in Las Vegas and had turned the silver into cash. Frederick White was also arrested on a warrant that had been outstanding for a previous burglary. During his arrest, it was identified that he was under the influence of a controlled substance and was in fact found in possession of drug paraphernalia. Joseph Chiarilli and Frederick White were arrested and booked into the Nye County Detention Center and are currently being held awaiting bail on the following charges: burglary, conspiracy to commit a crime, grand larceny, transfer of stolen property. They are also being charged with being under the influence of a controlled substance. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
3 people were injured last Monday night on Highway 160 and Bella Vista as a result of a 2-vehicle accident. A landing zone was established so Mercy Air could safely land on scene for one woman who sustained a severe injury to her ankle.
Yes, we had a motor vehicle accident. It was a serious impact, high damage to both vehicles, a T-bone type collision, and our investigation revealed that there was actually 3 people trapped, 2 in one vehicle and 1 in the other. Extrication was completed in a timely fashion. All patients were removed. 1 patient was flown from the scene by Mercy Air 21 and to the trauma center, and the other 2 patients then went to local facilities.
And I know that we had Rescue 15. We had a couple ambulances there on scene as well.
Yeah, because of the nature of we had 3 people entrapped, we had brought the heavy rescue as well as our rescue engine, and then there was 2 ambulances with a command vehicle and Mercy Air.
Because of the high impact, especially on one of those vehicles, you guys had to actually use the jaws live. How did you cut them out of the car?
Yeah, actually the jaws, as you referred to them, were used on all 3 of the patients. And we did a modified door pops, which means we displaced the door to allow the opening to occur and allow us to facilitate the removal of the patients.
And I know that one person in particular was in kind of bad shape, but they were airlifted. Are they expected to make a recovery?
I don't think it was a life-threatening issue, but until they get into trauma and they're fully assessed by the trauma team, we're kind of at the liberty of not knowing exactly how badly they're hurt on the scene.
A reminder to please completely pull over to a complete stop on both sides of the roadway when emergency vehicles are passing. A brand new driver to the roadway was quickly broken in last Saturday morning at Highway 372 and Pahrump Valley Boulevard.
Hi, how are you doing? Yes, two-vehicle accident, 372 Pahrump Valley Boulevard, a white pickup versus a blue, kind of a van over here. Basically, we had a very young, inexperienced driver in the van. Started to make the left turn eastbound on 372 onto Pahrump Valley Boulevard, and basically panicked, lost control of the vehicle, and slid over into the path of the white pickup, which was westbound in the right-hand lane. No severe injuries. The one driver of the pickup has got some minor claimed injuries. We're kind of watching him on that, but he's still currently on scene. Basically, it's just a matter of inexperienced driver. He's had his driver's license, his permit, a total of about 2.5 hours, and Dad was with him, and he just said basically lost control of it and panicked.
So the driver that has an injury, he's not going to be transported?
He refused so far, but we're watching him. We've told him that if he needs it, we'll call it back out. But right now, he's refused.
What's some advice that you might have for new drivers or parents that are teaching their kids to drive? Where's the best place to start teaching them those maneuvers and how to drive?
Quiet, slow traffic areas. But, I don't know what he's been doing. It'd be pure speculation on this particular driver. Maybe he was doing fine until up to now. I don't know. Without I'm not trying to be condemnation or anything. But yeah, nice slow traffic areas.
There you go. Thank you. Is there going to be a citation?
Yes, there will be.
One person was arrested at the scene of a two-vehicle accident last Friday night at Homestead and Thousand Air.
A two-vehicle accident on Friday night, which was originally thought to be a non-injury accident, changed slightly after Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were called off scene and then required to respond once again. One vehicle sustained major damage. That person inside that vehicle declined medical attention on scene. The other vehicle, which sustained moderate impact, had two people complaining of stomach and arm pain. Nye County Sheriff's deputies conducted a field sobriety test on scene as well as a breathalyzer test. The male driver was taken into custody and booked on suspicion of intoxication. The other two were transported to Desert View Hospital, complaining of minor injuries. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are investigating the cause of this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Emergency crews responded to a structure fire last Monday night at Country Express Deli on the north of town.
Just a little after 11 p.m. last night, we were dispatched for the report of a structure fire at the Country Express store on Highway 160. Crews upon arrival found smoke showing from what we would call the Division B side, which was the north side of the building, through the gable vents. Crews made an entry through the front door. They searched out the fire and found it to be on the second floor of the building. They quickly knocked the fire down, and there was no further extension. There was heavy smoke and heat throughout the building, but again, it was able to be minimized as far as a really astute deputy last evening. Deputy Robin Beck was actually out there, and it's my understanding she was there for an investigation of a burglar alarm.
Yeah.
And she took those extra couple steps to make sure that the building was secure, and in doing so, she discovered smoke showing. So she immediately reported us, and the rest of this history.
That was saving that whole business right there. The alarm call came through, and she just saw that little bit of smoke. And you guys got there so quickly, able to knock down that blaze really quick.
Yeah, it was very fortunate, again, because as you mentioned, what Robin had as far as observations wasn't a heavy smoke condition pouring from the outside of the building yet. It was in that stage where it was just beginning to present.
Yeah.
But when we went into the building, the crews found heavy fire conditions on that second floor. There was high temperatures, a lot of smoke and heat throughout. But it just really worked out well. The crews had a great response. They did everything in a timely fashion. The location of a hydrant out front established a water supply timely. So everything worked in our favor.
Usually when people discover a building that's non-occupied on fire, it's usually well established by that point.
Exactly. Usually you have heavy fire or flame showing most of the time through the roof. In this case, though, just those traces of smoke is what activated the system last night.
You guys opened the front door of the building. I know that the owner was on their way. What type of tool did you use to open that front door?
It's actually a Halligan bar. It's a pry tool, and it was a relatively simple method. And as you mentioned, the owner did arrive on location and then gave us some keys for other areas of the building. So it worked out really well. It was minimal firefighter damage to the building last night. It was strictly the event itself.
And we think that this is electrical fire. You guys followed up with an investigation this morning?
Yeah, the investigation's ongoing, but it looks like we're looking at a probable electrical origin on the second floor in a room that's designated for storage and some other issues.
So they're going to be shut down for a little while they're repairing this.
They'll go through a claims process with their insurance company. We were able to, with the help of a local certified electrician, to isolate the power to that area so they're able to keep their refrigeration and things going to avoid food spoilage.
Exactly, and that helps in the long run too as well. So this was up in a second-story area.
Yes, this is actually a two-story building with a section that actually has a second floor.
And what do we all have as far as response? I know that we had quite a few units there because it was a structure fire for a business. I know we had at least 3 water tenders.
Yeah, we had a number of apparatus there. There was 3 ambulances on location, 3 water tenders, a Type 1 engine, a command vehicle, and we had a good crew turnout. Several of the volunteers were also there in a timely fashion, and they handled some additional calls that were dispatched.
More with News 46's News in Review. Stay tuned.
Pahrumps' most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
The town board tabled agenda item number 9 this past Tuesday until the next meeting in 2 weeks. The discussion and possible decision to approve the recommendation from the Pahrump Tourism and Convention Council Advisory Board to award RFP 2011-01, the Pahrump promotional video, to M Creative Group in the amount not to exceed $11,105. M Creative Group is based out of California. KPVM also bid on this video.
I don't know if it would be fair to ask you why Channel 41 was not selected, because if it's fair to ask you that, I'd sure like an answer, because I've been asked that myself and I don't have an answer, not being involved with the subcommittee.
Bottom line is the disparity in the amount that they propose it would cost. I mean, something is wrong here, and I don't know if it'd be appropriate enough, but if Ern wants to come over here and talk, he told me that that he was asked to propose a video at a cost less than what we're looking here to approve. So and he seems to have misunderstood something or whatever. So I'm wondering if these other people did. You know, that it just doesn't make sense to me. If they all understood the thing the same, then the proposal should be relatively close in price, but they're not. I mean, that's unbelievable. 200,000 or 6,000? Something just doesn't seem right to me.
I wholeheartedly support the volunteers on our advisory boards, and you have the expertise, and that's one of the reasons we come to you and want you to advise us so that we can make, I guess, an intelligent decision. I guess I am also very strongly in favor of looking locally, no matter what the situation. When we say we're unbiased, I am very biased in favor of local businesses. And we should always look there first. And I'm asked that question, no matter what we vote on, I'm asked the question, did you look locally? And so that's why I have to always ask that question.
There's a legal question that the attorney brought up. We need to request, and it's going to upset some people, but we need to request that this be tabled until the next town board meeting, because we need to check out the legality of an issue that was brought up. And we just need to do that. So we're asking for this item. We're asking the town board to please table this until Brett can look into the issue at hand.
Owner of KPVM, Vern Van Winkle, responded to the Pahrump Tourism and Convention Council Advisory Board's recommendation to give an award to an out-of-state company.
Yeah, I think that, the idea of producing a video for the town of Pahrump is fantastic. As you know, Deanna, in 2001, KPVM produced this exact video. As a matter of fact, the outline that they have outlined in the proposal was almost verbatim, 95% near exact to what I created in 2001, which is good that they're using the concepts of what we created so that they can get that information out to bring in economic and tourism. Here's where the downfall comes into play and what held it up last night. The challenge is that I met with one of their board members as well as one of the officials from the town office on this project. I asked them what the budget was going to be. They reluctantly said, $7,500. And I thought, wow. Because I knew that when I first put out the bid that I created, was going to be at least $10,000 to $12,000 to do the video that they wanted. However, in 2001, I created the exact same video, and there's two versions of this video. The first version that has been created, and the only version that has been created, is called the offline version. What that basically means is that you go in, you produce an idea and a concept, you lay out the words, you lay out the music, you lay out the video, but yet it's not sweetened. You don't go back in, it's not developed to where it's polished at the end. It's an idea to show somebody this is what we're able to do. So I went to the town board back in 2001, I think I went to them in 2004 as well, and asked them to purchase the video. And they said they couldn't afford it and they couldn't do that. I then went to the Chamber of Commerce and they also said we can't budget this. So the real estate developers in town we showed it to, the real estate agents in town, and of course the public officials thought the video was very well done. They thought it was exactly on point to what they needed, and they wanted to use the video. So I said, well, it's really not done at this particular point in time, but they said it's done enough for what we need to do. So what we did at that particular point in time is we went ahead and released the video so that they could use it for information. All inside, I'm thinking, well, we really should probably finish this video up and get it done properly, customize it to the town so that it has their name, their logos, their information on it, so that it has a real good feeling to it. Well, recently they went to a big convention in Quark's Quartzsite, and doing so they realized how many people are promoting their businesses and their towns through the means of video and through communication through the website. Well, as you know, KPVM has its own website, has its own videos playing on its website, all YouTube videos as well. We used to use another company, and we're always demonstrating what's going on in Pahrump on the website. So when this bid proposal came out, they awarded it, or recommended an award, to a California company. And I thought that's just absolutely ludicrous that here KPVM has created this video in the analog world in 2001. Now keep in mind, today is 2011. We have now created the new world called digital, which KPVM has just spent a ton of money on increasing all of our equipment, all of our technology, added additional channels, high definition cameras, high definition studio cameras, all this extra expense for the requirement that the government has asked us to do. In return, we can use it for these type of programs. Pahrump video has been requested. So we have all the capabilities. We provided for them a look at the Pahrump video so they can see what it was. And we provided it a little reluctantly because we knew it was $10,000 to $12,000 to do the project. But we thought, you know what? This is going to benefit the town. We've already created this video in the past. Why not give them the opportunity to utilize it, put the budget out at their maximum amount, which was given to me by two different people. One was on the committee. One was at the meeting last night. James, long-haired, pony-haired guy, very nice guy, came, toured the facility. His exact words when he left the station were, I can see that you obviously can do the project for us. Those were his exact words when he left. And I had a budget of $7,500 to do it. So I felt, okay, let's help the town. Let's put the budget out for $7,500. Let's do it and get it done so that they can attract more people. Well, what happened is that they now have, in reality, a $16,000 budget.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Knowing that I went the extra mile to make sure that we can get this done at a reasonable price. But what's more frustrating is that they brought in a California company. In this video, the requirements require several times during the year different events and activities to be recorded.
Yeah.
So that California company bid this at $11,000. Which is a challenge because they have to come to Pahrump each time to record each one of those events. Okay, that's 250 miles to Pahrump, 250 miles back, possibly 2 technicians, and a hotel stay. 7 times.
Yeah.
Okay, now, you take that exact same video that I created, which is in an offline format. However, it was good enough for the real estate people at that time. It was good enough for the developers at that time. And it was good enough for the town officials to use on a frequent basis. All we have to do is go in and reshoot all these things again in high definition, because we've gone from analog to high definition, and then put a little polish on it, because we never put the polish on, as I mentioned to you before, put the polish on the video, they will have a video equal to what they are requesting and that they were wowed by the California company, that they want to take the money, the tax dollars that they earn from the tourism board, and put it into a California company. I just find it very frustrating. Now, I did talk to both the town manager and have talked to Kelly Buffy this morning and discussed all this with her. Kelly Buffy, in her defense, did not know that I was given the $7,500 budget, and that was the extent of her. That was the extent of my offering. She did mention that there was an additional RFP that went out, which I never saw. Yeah. If there was an additional budget or a different raised in budget or a different RFP requesting that there was no cap, I never knew about that.
We continue our interview with Vern Van Winkle, owner of KPVM, in his response to the Pahrump Tourism and Convention Council's advisory board recommending a California company to receive over $11,000 from the Pahrump Room Tax Fund. This fund is from the tourists coming into the town of Pahrump, and it can only be used to bring more tourist dollars into our town to increase local business.
So I bid the proposal the best I could under the guidelines that I was given, and every detail in their guideline matches exactly what I have in my Pahrump video currently that KPVM produced. And that's really the scenario of it. So hopefully they're going to see that, and at least they're going to give us an opportunity to look at it one more time. And I guarantee them they'll have a very fine product when they're done. They'll be very pleased. We have 2 Emmy Award. My editor has 2 Emmy Awards in-house here. I have a brilliant editor for video as well in the house, who's done movies, who's basically working with us between jobs, but he's taken the full-time job position. I've been in this industry since 1979. You know, you look at our news products, you look at our web products. If the money is there, and if they're willing to pay, we'll do the job that they need done. But we can't do it for free.
And the thing is that having a limited budget does limit your potential for how much you can give them. That is really true.
Well, when I turned in the packet, I was kind of a little discouraged, and I was actually contemplating, do I really want to bid on the project because of the cost factor that I would be losing and the time that it takes to do such a video. I felt in my heart it is my due diligence as a business owner in this community and as the broadcast TV station to do this project for their budget that they had wanted, which was $7,500. That's why I felt that way. Now that I know that they have more money to do it, then they should give that money appropriately
a local company. Were you disappointed at the lack of faith that they seem to have, or the some of the comments that they seem to have about KPVM? Are they just ill-informed about the capabilities?
Well, I did feel that it was knowing these people very well, a lot of them on the board. And as a matter of fact, Karen Spalding on the board has seen the video. She's commented that she liked the video. Kelly Buffy liked the video. Tom Waters liked the video. He actually enjoyed it. One of the comments came from Harley Culkin that he said, wow, where's that? I want to move there. So there's definitely no quality issue. What's happened is that this board has been wowed by a video presentation that was probably very nice and that was specifically made for this type of application.
But will they come through with what they showed them? Because when you look at their website, they do have promotional videos, but for the amount of money that the town is willing to give, will they actually come up with that type of production? I mean, like you said, they have to keep coming up here to get...
One of the challenges I felt last night that was said is that we're going to get a $100,000 budget for $11,000. I have a question for you in this town. If you're driving a Lexus or if you're driving a Mercedes, are you going to be able to buy that Mercedes for 70, 80% off? No way. They're going to take every bit of the $16,000. They're going to basically come out here and they're going to have to be out here several times. There's going to be a lot of travel expense. We can do the video. I can match their price for $11,000. I can do it for $7,500 if they want me to do it for $7,500. We can keep it here locally. We can do the project locally. We can keep the funds here locally. I don't think it's fair that I have to do it for $7,500 now that the cat's been out of the bag, that they are willing to spend the $11,000. So that's up to them. We'll work it out the way it is. I'm sure they're all going to work it out, and we'll find out what happens from here. It is frustrating to me because I do feel like KPVM, we broadcast this meeting last night, and I feel like we were basically made out to be as a podunk KPVM-TV station, which is highly offensive to me and my entire staff who was there.
And the money that you put out on town events, I mean, like,
you broadcast the event live last night. This is all at your cost. The money that you put out on a daily basis to promote the town of Pahrump, to help the town of Pahrump, people don't realize that this is actual real money that you put out every day to.
I have to pay people to do this. They turned us down. They turned down KPVM to provide this community live broadcast meeting coverage. The town board did it. The county commissioners did it. The sheriff's office did it. And the school board did it. However, they were all interested, but they wanted to go with a different system called Granicus, which basically is for the internet. And so they elected to use their money towards that. But we still continue every single day to try to provide these services, and we have absolutely zero sponsorships in helping KPVM put this together.
And do you think that the town board was really looking when they made their comments about spending local? Several of them were very sure that they really wanted to consider local companies.
I think it's a slap in the face. You know, we're supposed to have this campaign going on saying that it's local. Mm-hmm. It's not local. I want to make one correction. We have one sponsor that has been put on the website as a crawl, and that's Bedrock. They're a rock company here locally. All the other companies, the sponsors, are KPVM-TV, who's basically self-promoting.
This is a big trickle-down effect, isn't it? When you don't spend local, especially the Pahrump Tourism and Convention Council should know this more than anybody. Spending local, money coming in locally, what does this do to our economy?
Well, it weakens it. The bottom line, it weakens it. This community is dying. But the lack of businesses not coming in, the lack of business, you hear it every day when you go to the town board. I used to kind of think that these guys basically come to the town board were just kind of being a little over eccentric about things. But I'm now beginning, after my own experience, thinking, wow, maybe there might have something here. I'm not saying they do, I'm not saying they don't. But I'm just saying that for businesses, this community has to do everything they possibly can to keep the businesses that are here and to do everything they possibly can to get new businesses here. If we don't, we are in big trouble. This community, we provide our business services on advertising. When the hospital doesn't advertise, when the casinos don't advertise, when the businesses don't advertise because they don't put funds into advertising and local media, or they don't basically have the funds because people aren't using their services, or people aren't saying, yes, I saw their commercial on KPVM, it hurts. Because what happens is that trickle-down effect means is that we can't provide you this newscast that we provide every single day. We can't provide you ION. We can't provide you this TV. We can't provide you the information, the government meetings for free that we do. We need support. When you don't put the money into the community, you can't use the money in the community.
Those of you wishing to support KPVM are encouraged to contact your town board members and to attend the next town board meeting to voice your opinions. Still more local news to come with News 46's News and Review.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
The second annual Smiles Across Pahrump was held last Saturday at Ian Deutsch Memorial Park. Over 20 bikes were given away, 3 scooters, and many more gifts to kids. Butch Harper has held this event to give back to the community and just for the simple joy of seeing children smile.
Well, right now it's not even, well, it's just 12:15 and there's quite a few people here. Hopefully it's 2 to 3 times more than we had last year. We have 23 bicycles going to be given away, multiple food vouchers. We got other toys. We got razor scooters, prizes of all sorts. So it's a family affair. It's like an old block party where everybody comes. There's no commercial, nobody making money off anybody. It's just a day for the children. And you put the icing on the cake is when you parents, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles come out here with them and make that day for your child. And that's what this day is all about. Have this community come together and just have a good time.
It's a wonderful event. I know you got a lot of volunteers here today. Tell me what it was like to put this together.
I'm tired. It's a lot of time and effort, and anybody that's involved in it, I just want to say thank you. There's numerous people, but too many for me to remember and mention because I'm having a senior moment. Come on out.
This is so great. And Butch, tell me a little bit about how this is making you smile, what this makes you feel like.
Well, it puts a lot of warmth in my heart, but when I see a smile on these children's faces, that's what it's all about. That's what this country's got to be about. Yeah. And I I hope this event just brings this whole town together and enjoy each other's company and leave your differences at home, because this day is for the children.
And so next year we're looking at the 3rd annual Smiles Across Pahrump. Are you already thinking about it?
I'm thinking about it next year and the year after. I want comments from the community.
Okay. How can people reach you?
751-1257.
Nye County Commissioner Butch Brasky invites you to an open forum to discuss questions and concerns from the public.
Yes, Deanna. Louis DeCanio at one of the commissioners' meetings and town board meetings put down a challenge that he would like the public officials to get together, to have a meeting, to invite the public in so they could voice their concerns and offer suggestions. So our first date is going to be the 30th, next Saturday, at the Calvada Eye at the Commissioner's office, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Invite the public to come in. If they have questions, they have concerns, if they have suggestions on how to help with things, we're going to have Harley Calkin from the town board, myself, Bill Kobarger, Rick Osborne, the 2 managers. We're going to have someone from the sheriff's office and someone from the DA's office. And no, I'm sorry, scratch the sheriff. He has his own form. Somebody from the DA's office and somebody from Public Works. So come on down, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, 30th at the Calvada Eye, and come on in, offer suggestions or ask questions.
So this is a completely open forum for any type of suggestions or concerns or questions, governmental, throughout the valley, anything that you guys might be able to help with.
Yeah, you know, if we can't answer the question, we'll get somebody who can. And again, this is not a formal meeting, so we're not going to be violating any open meeting laws or anything like that. It's just more of a session to sit down and talk. The sheriff does it once a month, and he's very successful at what he does. So we'll do a joint meeting between the town and the county, and we'll see what happens.
And for more information, who can they call?
They can call me. My cell number is 775-297-5200, or my office at 751-7078.
Animal-assisted therapy is a relatively new field of study, although the human-animal bond has existed for thousands of years. Animal-assisted therapy is a type of therapy that involves animals as a form of treatment. The goal of animal-assisted therapy is to improve patients' social, emotional, or cognitive functioning. They can also be useful for educational and motivational effectiveness for participants. We speak to Chris Harris about his proposed bird therapy business he hopes to open right here in Pahrump.
This is Cielo. She is a hybrid conure. She was raised from an egg to be a therapy bird. She is half sun and half Jinde conure.
So tell me about the birds and a little bit about yourself.
Well, basically, I train them for magicians in Las Vegas, entertainers. We've done Cirque du Soleil, the History Channel. I was just out in Hollywood for 3 months training them for this guy, Alan Ball. He made a show called True Blood on HBO. And basically, in 2007, my son Gabriel was diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder. And I found that the birds kind of bring him out of his shell. And so I wanted to start doing this. I've been working on it since 2007, raising them from an egg to be therapy birds. And we are finally on the process of becoming nonprofit. And we're going to be called Featherpeutic out here between Las Vegas, California, here in Pahrump. But the thing is my family's out here, and so are all the birds. So we're going to be based out of Pahrump, even though we're going to be doing the whole, West Coast. We're going to be out here mostly,
Wonderful. You have some shows coming up. So I know that we're here at Smiles Across Pahrump, and the kids are having a great time getting to know the birds and everything. And kids do react to these very quickly. You're having some shows that are coming up. People are invited to come see?
Yes. Well, right now, we do a lot of kids shows, but right now we have upcoming at the Beehive at 821 East Ambush. That's Monday at 11:30, and then again Wednesday at 3 o'clock at the Pahrump Rehab. And if anyone in here sees this and you work at a school or something like that and you want us to come by, just give me a call. My number is 775-513-4078.
Wonderful. And then, how many birds do you have?
Well, between 3 different states right now, probably about 70.
I know that we have a baby one that's in the cage right now. Tell us about that one.
Well, that one, her name is Pebbles. She was shipped to me on a nonstop flight from Orlando, Florida to LAX. I picked her up, and we've been raising her ever since, feeding her every couple hours. She's a rose-breasted cockatoo, a little pink pretty cockatoo that's going to be a flight-trained little showbird for all the kids and everybody.
So you train these birds. Tell me a little bit about that.
How do you have a bird that can fly and give it choice? You have to make it want to do what you want it to do. So we find things like a favorite treat that motivates the bird, and we take Cielo here and do things like roll over, and she turns over like that. And, like just little tricks like that. We give them the little treats, and it motivates them. It's just the secret is finding what the bird likes, what's going to make it want to do this stuff. So
Cielo can fly. She can fly away right now.
yes, she could fly away right now, but thankfully nature gives them a little harness. When they leave the nest in the wild, they have to stay close to the parents and learn how to survive. So I can take her out and do this without that much fear, and I can shape the behavior from the very beginning, basically.
She really is attached to you. Birds are very personable, aren't they?
Yes, they, I believe, have the capacity to love. They've been seen flying in the wild so close their wingtips touch, and 20 years ago, my mom had birds, they were all wild caught, direct from the jungle to your living room, screaming, biting. Now we hand raise them, and they think they're humans,
Beautiful. And so for more information, people can give you a call and to have shows. You're willing to go to the schools, to different events, and I'm so glad you came out here to Smiles Across Pahrump too as well.
Thank you. Yes, we do own featherpeutic.org and featherpeutic.com. We will have websites up soon, and again, you can call me at 775-513-4078.
Dennis Keating, owner of Bad Dog Live Entertainment, is an all-around performer. We caught up with him at a recent event.
Is karaoke, DJ, and live music service available for any events, corporate events, local businesses, benefits, fundraisers, and I also do a lot of donating back to the community with this event.
And live, you perform as well yourself. I know that you have quite a few different acts. Tell everybody about that.
Yes, I'm also a professional musician, singer. I've filled in over at the Lion King at Mandalay Bay. I have a band. We've done New Year's gigs here locally. Played with Al Jarreau at the Orleans New Year's several years back. Used to play in a big band, Maynard Ferguson Big Band. And I also do Louis Armstrong impersonations, as well as I added a new one, which is CeeLo Green, the song Forget You. I now do CeeLo Green.
There you go. Everybody knows how legendary you are at doing your Louis Armstrong. I can't wait to see the CeeLo Green. And you're for hire. People can hire you for all their different types of parties, any type of event.
Yes, anything from a toga party to a school dance to weddings to anniversary parties. We also do divorce parties now, which are quite popular. And, I enjoy doing anything for the community, and any organization or any group that hires me, I enjoy giving back and being a special part of their event.
I know that you're here at Smiles Across the Pahrump. Do you help coordinate as well as MC and help the people give some advice on their party?
Yes, I can also do some basic party planning, as well as making sure the event runs smoothly. Just hire me, put it in my hands, and I will make sure it's a memorable event for all.
Wonderful. How can people reach you?
They can reach me on my email, which is baddoglive@gmail.com, or area code 775-513-4731.
A presentation was held last Monday morning at Nathan Adelson Hospice on Highway 160. We're here in front of the Nathan Adelson Hospice Building Fund Gauge, which was presented today here on Highway 160. We're going to see the artist do the signing of it, speak to him, to Tanya Brum, and to Sharon Kalin, whose dream is coming through after losing Forrest to cancer. They're hoping to build a Nathan Adelson Hospice right next to Desert View Hospital on Wilson.
Basically, the vine is symbolism of the vine of life. The butterflies are the monarch butterfly, which is Adelson Hospice's logo, so to speak. And the hands and the clock on the bottom are because time is precious. And so I had to incorporate somehow the clock with the vine and the butterflies, instead of having a thermometer or something that was just standard issue, I guess you could say. I wanted it to be, and we all agreed that it should have a little more of a spiritual meaning to it, more of a life meaning to it, because it's a transition period in time. And that's basically what it means.
Tanya Brum, we did a little presentation today. Tell me about the thermometer behind us.
The thermometer, which we really had a hard time naming, so we decided to call it a building fund gauge. Where we came up with that because it sounded better than thermometer. But the idea came up several months ago with Marianne's cousin Bob and John, and they got together and they kind of designed it together. And we just wanted to have something to show, a visual to show how the progress was going with this project. So
we got the monarch butterflies. We're at a little under 400,000 right now.
Yes.
You can donate all the time to the building fund, though.
Yes, they can. They would send the check to Nathan Adelson Hospice, but it's very important to specify building fund, because that way they know that it's this particular project. But we're very excited. The response from the community has been wonderful. I mean, considering what the economy's like, we've had an excellent response. Sharon's birthday this year is going to be for the building fund. So there's just a lot of things going on, big and little, and I just find it so exciting. So somehow or other, I never left Nathan Adelson even after I retired.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be Pahrumph's favorite charity. How can people contact Nathan Adelson Hospice to donate?
If they want to donate to Nathan Adelson Hospice, you can call me if you have questions, and my number is 702-845-4748. That's my cell number. If they want to send a donation to the Nathan Adelson Hospice Building Fund, they send it right here to the office, Nathan Adelson Hospice, 1401B, Highway 160, 89048. But specify, somewhere on the check has to be specified building fund.
Well, it's for my deceased husband is the main thing, and it's a dream. It's a dream that is needed out here in Pahrump. We need someplace for people that are terminal to go, not in Las Vegas, out here. It's so much easier and it costs so much less. Of course, when you're terminal, it doesn't cost you anything through Nathan Adelson, but we've got to go out here in Pahrump instead of Las Vegas. There will be 4 beds and offices. It's on Wilson, right by Desert Regional. It's such a dream. I can't tell you what my husband had gone through. We would go to Las Vegas for treatments. Luckily, I have an oncologist in the office at the present time. So instead of going to Cancer Institute, any cancer facility in Las Vegas, they can go to Kalen West and get a treatment there. And when I met Dr. Mehdi, I said, what a dream, what a dream. My deceased husband sent you. So he's such a fine man, and thank you very much. I love all of you so much. Please help us. We need it so bad.
More with News 46's News in Review. Don't go anywhere.
Pahrumph's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
We caught up with the popular group Breathe Carolina at a recent show at Threads Clothing Company on Loop Road. Here's part 2 of our exclusive with Kyle Evan and David Schmidt, who comment on their humble roots.
It's funny that we would sit and we would talk about, oh, what if, we'd always do the what ifs and now it'd be crazies, but now it's real, you know what I mean? We're sitting right in front of our bus right now and living a dream. It's wild. We got 8 other guys that tour with us all the time, and 10-person crew, including ourselves. It's the dream.
I know your album's even selling in Walmart, so how's it going as far as the record sales, do you know?
Oh, it's did real well. Yeah, we did 41 on Billboard, and can't complain, man. That's real. We got higher up than we did on the last record, so can't complain.
And then where are you guys going from here?
We go to Anaheim tomorrow.
Dude, yeah.
Did you guys just come back from California yesterday?
Yeah. It's all. I feel like it's always like that. It's always like Vegas, LA, Vegas, and then whatever, Anaheim, vice versa. You know what I mean? It's always like that. I feel like.
So people can buy your album everywhere. You have a website?
Yeah. You can go to hellswhatyoumake.com. You can go to facebook.com/Breathe Carolina, Twitter @BreatheBand, anything like that, man. That's where we're at. So.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. Nice to meet you both.
Good to chill with you. Good to chill with you. Yes, thank you.
You can go to KPVM.TV or KPVM's YouTube site or Facebook to see more with Breathe Carolina. We catch up with the band members of The Air I Breathe at the recent performance in Pahrump.
I'm Tony. I'm the vocalist. Yeah, I'm the vocalist.
I'm Greg. I play drums, and I love Chex Mix.
How How's the tour going so far?
The tour is going great. What are we, 6 days in, 6 shows?
Yeah, this is the 6th show. Still on the West Coast. Still have more to do.
Going back to California tomorrow. You just came from California last night.
Yeah, we go to Anaheim tomorrow, play at Disney at the House of Blues. So I'm really excited for that because I've never been to Disney, and that's awesome.
This is quite a few stops. I think it's 30 total.
Yeah, there's a lot. It started July 15th, I believe, in Seattle, and it ends for us on August 28th. So I think it's almost like 45, 50 shows maybe, something crazy like that.
Where's the end? Indiana?
It ends in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
And you guys are from?
We're from New Jersey.
We actually released our first debut CD on Rise Velocity Records entitled Great Faith in Fools on June 7th. You can get that iTunes, Hot Topic.
Or on this tour.
Or on this tour. We're selling them real cheap on this tour.
Yep.
And yeah, it's went over really well so far. Since we're a new band, the release wasn't, Billboard top 10 or anything, but it's definitely been picking up heat a lot. So.
No, we noticed a difference now being on tour with the CD that's out. A lot more kids come out now. When we didn't have the CD for a while, it wasn't as many kids.
Yeah, and you'll get a lot of people, a lot of hits, especially after this tour.
Absolutely. This tour is definitely great exposure for us, and it's helping us a lot.
What's coming up next?
We have a tour 2 weeks after this one's done. We can't say what it is yet, but it's a little heavier than this tour because we're a heavier band. We're the heaviest band on this tour, but this tour has a good mix. But the next one's it's much heavier, and right after that one, we hop on another one. So we'll be touring straight almost all of fall and the winter. But we can't say what it is yet. But it's awesome.
Amazing. And any other records that you're looking at possibly putting out?
Not for a very, very long time. We already put out a CD a month ago. It's doing pretty good. I mean, we're gonna keep writing. That's obvious. We might put out a song eventually in the far future, but CD is not even in the talks yet.
Yeah, we usually like to tour on this CD for like a year and a half before you even go back in the studio. So we got a lot of time on this CD still.
Is your studio back in New Jersey?
No, we actually recorded in Ocala, Florida with Andrew Wade, who records bands like A Day to Remember and Versa Merge and stuff like that.
I looked up his lineup of who actually mixed your albums, and amazing list of people that he's worked with. So how was that to work with him?
It was awesome. We got along really well. We understood each other's humor really well. We were all into the same stuff, and he's a hilarious guy, and he's amazing at what he does.
If he sees this, I miss you, dude. I miss you.
It's quite a notch in your belt to be working with him as well.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We also spoke to members of the band The Color Morale and a representative from Scream It Like You Mean It.
Show was good. It's kind of a hot place to play. Never played in the middle of Death Valley before, so it was fun though. It was awesome. Kids made the show for sure.
Turned into a lovely evening. What was your guys' place in the lineup?
We played third tonight.
And Brittany right here. Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Tell me a little bit about the tour. How's it going so far?
The tour's called Scream It Like You Mean It. It's been really fun. It's a very diverse tour. Brittany's actually one of the Scream It Like You Mean It tour representatives. So it's been.
How's that going?
Good. Really good. Actually, the tour's been really fun.
Really good tour, isn't it?
Yes. And Rockstar has been helping us out. So.
Yeah, they're a good supporter, aren't they? As well as Smash Magazine is a sponsor, and we have a lot of good sponsors on this tour.
We also have, is it Music Skins? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, Music Skins.
Bands out there.
Archaic clothing too.
Yep.
And of course, Threads. Tell me a little bit about releases that you guys have.
Pardon me?
Some releases that you guys have?
Oh yeah, we just released our sophomore record actually on Rise Record. It's called My Devil in Your Eyes. And that's the record we're touring on now, playing songs off it and whatnot.
I know you're a Christian band.
I don't like to be labeled anything. We're just guys with trying to do the best they can every day that aren't perfect and that screw up as much as everybody else. And we all have a common belief system in the band, and that's just kind of who we are.
That is good, and that makes band work better.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
We're from Rockford, Illinois.
Tell me about some of your previous releases.
We had a first record called We All Have Demons on Rise, and the second record's kind of an extension of that, just songs about real life experiences, obstacles, struggles within and overcoming them. And our music's kind of purpose-driven and has a message behind it. So it's kind of the goal we aim for as a band, is to come out and every band has their different audience and their different goal, and our goal is to just kind of spread things that we've learned and grown from in life. And if you look around, all these kids are 15, 16 years old, and that's a really difficult age. That was a difficult age for me, so I kind of feel like my purpose is to maybe give them a little optimism or a little hope in their daily ventures.
That is a wonderful thing. What a great thing. Tell me what your hopes for the future.
Just keep touring, and just try to get our music to reach as many people as possible, and see and meet new friends. I don't like the word fans. I'm the same as everybody, so we just try to spread our message and get more people involved, and get kids coming out having fun at shows, and hopefully going home with something.
You got a lot of friends out there. I heard them saying they love you. Brittany, tell me about the tour. What's your hopes and dreams for the Scream It Like You Mean It? Are you going to be doing this every year?
Actually, I think I am, hopefully. So we're going to try to keep it like a family thing.
That is a good idea, and it really keeps everybody really tight. Do you know what we're looking at as far as the rest of the tour? I know we have a little bit of change in some of the bands.
Yeah, we have Mod Sun now instead of Tech One, but other than that, it's all of us are riding together until Denver.
People can keep up to date. Of course, go to Scream It Like You Mean It online.
ScreamItLikeYouMeanIt.com, and there's actually a Twitter. It's at Scream It Tour.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Well, that's all, folks, with News 46's News in Review. Some of the events this weekend include, of course, Pahrump Valley Speedway will have their races Saturday night. Races begin at 8 p.m. The Stage Stop will be holding a block party. It's going to be lots of fun with entertainment and food. It'll be held Saturday and Sunday night, beginning at 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. And, of course, Movies in the Park will be held at dusk at Ian Deutsch Memorial Park. The movie this week is Narnia. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.